justice for Mohbad. Justice for Mohbad. If you have been on this channel, you probably must have listened to Primeboy, where he said a lot of things in the direction of Wunmi. For those who do not know who these people are, Primeboy is Mohbad's childhood friend. Wunmi is the wicked widow. She wants us to call her a widow because she says she is married to Mohbad. I don't know, maybe the marriage is in the spirit, because Mohbad's father said, this woman, this lady is not married to my son. It was supposed to be an engagement. I don't want to bore you with all of that. Well, Primeboy came out loud because Wunmi said certain things, and Primeboy has realized that Wunmi is hell-bent from day one, hell-bent on sticking the RIP, the demise of Mohbad, on him. And he's not ready to go down. He's not ready to go down. He knows about some things, but I think he's sort of being careful. Like, let me see the length. Let me see how far Wunmi is ready to go. And now I'm sure that he knows how far Wunmi is ready to go. I'm sure that he knows that Wunmi is ready to nail him and bury him permanently. I'm sure he knows. He knows quite well. He knows that this period that he has outside is just a few moments of grace for him to say the truth, to tell us all that he knows without hiding, without trying to color, without trying to meander his way, without trying to cover up. And Primeboy, if you're listening, I assure you, if you come out to speak, if you come out to tell the truth, people will be able to, they'll be able to filter. They'll be able to look into what you have said. They will be able to connect the dots together. It is true that you did not go home with Mohbad. That has been established. It has been established. But there is more to what the eyes can see. Like I said to you guys, it is not possible for you, Primeboy, to broker peace between Wunmi and Mohbad without having a hint of what is going on. After all, men and women, they quarrel. So what is this thing? Well, I want you to pay attention to this one, to this discussion. Our guest is going to say some things, and we will be breaking it down. We'll be analyzing it as we proceed. Before I proceed to this, like and share, tap on the subscribe button if you're just coming across this channel. Let's grow this channel. Let's make it go to 100K. Yeah, let's grow it. Let's make it go to 100K. And to encourage us to do more, you can as well tap on the thanks button, where you will find super chats, super stickers, and all of that super thanks. You'll find it there.
Fat tí mo sọ pé Primeboy tó bá bí ẹ̀dá kó wá bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ mi báyìí. Ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ nílé Mohbad pé Mohbad ti wá di olówó kò rántí ẹ̀ mọ́. Ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ yẹn ó mú, in fact, ó gbé fóònù dání. That is why I'm holding you responsible. You went to the house, you get drunk, ó wá bẹ̀ sí máa kabash. You are not talking rubbish. Ọ̀rẹ́ ti di olówó. Now, when you get to the show, you knew pé àwọn eruku kan wà ń ta. You knew that there's people outside. Why don't you go to outside? Why did you somebody have to accompany you outside? Why did you have to let somebody to accompany you outside? And you are now telling the people, Kanipo money, you could have followed Mohbad home. What a lie. You are a bloody liar. You are a bloody liar. You knew what is going on outside. Why don't you face the crowd? Why don't you go outside? Lion. Bella has to travel. Naamadi has to travel. Sam Larry has to travel. Why did all of you just step back? And you called about your friend. All of you are liars. If people don't see what Primeboy has done in that area, Primeboy was the one that told us Eruku Wanta. He has to call somebody that is doing gong in their church to come and help him. Why you know that Eruku is outside? They come and help you. When this boy was going to the show, he told you, check out Babansa. Onipe, why you are on ground? Why do you have Babansa? Primeboy, Ashiri ma too very soon. àṣírí ẹ̀ máa tú very soon. You thought it's a joke. Ó wá ń fi ọ̀rọ̀ sábẹ́ àwọn. You will vomit
Prime boy,
everything.
say the
Ìyá Mohbad,
truth. Say
Ìyá
the truth
Mohbad,
and let the
you
devil
knew
be
what killed this boy.
ashamed.
Papa Mohbad, you knew what killed this boy. Gbogbo yín wá ń ṣe bí olórí burúkú káàkiri. This is the time. This is the time that police need to go and do another investigation on this family. This family is rubbish. They make sure they kill this guy. This guy is fast in doing things. Allah bless here. And I hold the record label responsible because I think toy boy is you people have been dealing with this guy. And what make sure it's not that they want to kill Mohbad on that day. It's just to deal with him like normal customer. You just want to deal with him like a normal customer. Wunmi, you have big answer. That is your guy. You need
Of course,
to.
she knows she has the answers to this.
I want to step. And you people have the audacity to stand. Okay. He has mattress. Do you know that if I thought you can you sleep on the ground? So you now kept this guy under the staircase. What are you idiot people? And you people went upstairs and went on saying Indomie to my papa going down. Tabanaro, please help me to announce this. We are going to
add to that. Maybe we'll discuss the New York protest. Just 1 minute we'll discuss on that. But to quickly add to what you just said about Primeboy and others and co, it seems like there is a game or a show that Primeboy and Wunmi is putting up to us. If indeed Wunmi will come out and be saying they shouldn't make Primeboy famous, they should forget about him. For me, all this is a show. Okay, and then Primeboy will be telling us, oh, Mohbad told him there was a camera. This is just like they are trying to make like a scene. Just like you see sometimes once in a month Wunmi comes around, drop something, half the media putting confusion into the media. This is another thing which Primeboy and Wunmi are trying to.
And she's been mentored by some people.
I don't know what they want to achieve, okay, from doing these publications, all this fake stuff that they are putting out there. If indeed Primeboy knows that he's quarreling with Wunmi, then tell us what Wunmi and Mohbad was discussing in the car. I mean, there is this not about Corona inquest. It's a simple thing. Right? Primeboy must have spoken to the police by now. There is one law. There is one law about the Corona inquest, is that before you speak to any jury, any organization, anybody, you must have spoken to the police. Primeboy, all of them have spoken to the police. If you remember the first Corona inquest, the reason why it was cancelled, they cancelled the first Corona inquest because they said Wunmi does not have a statement with the police and also Baba Mohbad. You remember that time? October. So, as long as you've had a statement already with the police, you can speak to anybody.
That's it.
But you have to be consistent. That doesn't go against what you have said.
Primeboy is not consistent.
Is Primeboy telling us that police who is in charge of investigation, you guys have something you are hiding, you are not telling them. You want to take Corona inquest. Who is Corona inquest?
Possible, because no one trusts the police.
Are the lawyers stupid? You have to give everything to the police. Police are the ones that have the primary duty to regulate all crimes.
100%.
To charge suspect. They are the one that have right to detain suspect, to determine suspect, and to charge suspect. What is Corona inquest going to be arresting anybody? What is special about Corona inquest?
Corona inquest is powerless. Corona inquest is effective. Corona inquest is just a find this thing. They now use Corona inquest to they use Corona inquest to
And again, if you look at another thing again another thing that also flabbergasted me sometimes, when I look at the first video that Primeboy made, where we talked about these things before that last year September, where his first video he was saying that he was using a passive you, an anonymous you.
That is true.
Why did Primeboy not challenge the death of Mohbad?
Before it's
you suddenly hear that Mohbad died, somebody you fought with, You couldn't even question what killed him. And you are okay with whatsoever. The next thing is Etikpa Abi. Who is this Etikpa? He must suspect somebody.
Obanaro, do you remember in that September 28th? I see have my diary. What did I tell you? I said there's something fishing in that area. Now, I said Sam Larry, they've locked Sam Larry inside.
Fishy.
If Primeboy should go and join Sam Larry, maybe it's a what did they do? They do attachment in that place. Detachment. The detachment, you remember when the police said if somebody fights somebody from January to December and the person died in between, as the Constitution of Nigeria said, that person is responsible for that person's death. Okay, now
unless proven otherwise by autopsy.
Okay, Sam Larry now proving, okay, you are now involved because we've not found what happened to Mohbad. But at that present, Sam Larry, you are what? You want to pay Mohbad. Now, this suspect, this guy is now standing there. They now make it under must where Primeboy fought Mohbad to detach Sam Larry. Now, the constitution now follow Primeboy. That okay, Primeboy no just a Mohbad dancing.
Okay, but let's pin them down somewhere. As the police have the primary right to know the reason, to ensure that they know the reason why somebody committed a particular act. Why did Primeboy fight Mohbad? That Mohbad they had to fight violently. Did the police verify a substantial reason why the fight was even caused? Have they done forensic to be sure that Primeboy is not connected to Sam Larry Naramali and someone else? To an alibi? What if Primeboy is connected to an alibi? That is why you bring in Sam Larry Naramali and others, others and co. Or Kubana. Or every other person. You can make up a link there. But they are trying everything to simplify it to see that it just goes between Primeboy, the nurse, and the spending. Because
exactly that is all. Primeboy, spending, and the nurse. Like no other person is connected to this thing.
Mohbad died because of the carelessness of Wunmi. That means a lot. And Hayat said it. Hayat said, I heard that Mohbad was stabbed with a poisonous knife in the show. So Wunmi did not deny that in front of Wunmi. So now is police lying? The police autopsy is telling us that Mohbad punched through side of the glass and he has injury. In the position where Mohbad had that injury, it is impossible for that to be a glass. I mean, we're not stupid, for goodness sake.
Thank you.
So it means the autopsy, they are not telling us the result of the autopsy. The preliminary report that they gave, they're supposed to tell us what they found in Mohbad's body. They were talking about glass, They were talking about the glass at the time. Now, somebody said that there's an evidence that Mohbad was stabbed. And when you look at what happened to Mohbad's hand, it looks more like a stabbing. And that is when I was calling out Berekete, is that Berekete himself, he seems not to understand this case. He doesn't understand, with due respect. Okay? The government, they are trying to push everything to the direction of the nurse. But we are saying what happened before the nurse came. We are questioning that fact, that what happened before the nurse came. Let that be substantiated. But that is not clarified. And that is what they have simplified. They are trying to simplify it. But we are asking. And as a result, they have done autopsy. Autopsy is bodily examination. You check the organs. That has to do with organs, the body, the system entirely. So from the report that they read, that shows that they didn't find anything like we are thinking. Everything that we have been talking about, they didn't find anything like that. And that is suspicious because even the stories, the circumstances is not aligning with what the police is saying. And that shows that there's a foul play. We don't need toxicology. Toxicology is going to come and prove to us what the nurse did. It's going to prove to us either Mohbad has been using drugs, or what the nurse, the injections, the tetanus injections, is going to come and prove that. We want to know what happened before the nurse came. Autopsy can prove that. Our police have already done autopsy. Has Berekete confirmed that? Another autopsy should be going on. A bodily examination by Baba's pathology or whatever team is with. It's needed. All this one they are saying that they just went to check the body. Going there to check is not enough. Going there to do criminal check-up, or that is conduct another autopsy, verify the whole body in a scientific way to see whether whatever injury is in his body, what caused it. Was it caused by a knife? Was it caused by a glass? It was caused by what? So this is it's alarming. It's alarming, and that's why we are saying that let us push Berekete. Okay, I understand his network is okay. Let us push Berekete to say that Berekete, do something. All of these guys are enough. Anybody that comes tell you that Baba cannot do autopsy, tell him that I challenge you. What law in Nigeria says that Baba cannot do autopsy? That the family of a deceased, we have two autopsy. The coroner autopsy and the voluntary autopsy. The voluntary autopsy is the autopsy conducted by a family member of the deceased. It could be anybody, the wife or anybody. So Wunmi can say she wants to do another autopsy. Baba can do, Adura can do, anybody that is Mohbad family can do autopsy. That's what the law says. Please, don't let them come and they like to come, they will come, look at that, they come like snakes. They will say, talk is cheap. They will do everything to demoralize you. Talk is cheap, that like they are making look at us who are talking, we don't know what to do. And there are so many teams, so many people volunteers from social media who wants to go and help this man. There are some groups around Baba that are engineering Baba not to accept help from social media. For God's sake, if not for social media, tell me where this case would have been. Social media can best help in this case. And now we hear that Berekete. In fact, Berekete should be welcoming different teams from social media. If Berekete can welcome another team from Baba, then every other team should be ready to apply and let Baba walk through everything. Baba not cooperating with people who are ready to help in this case. It's also jeopardizing this case. It's jeopardizing this case. So one can say Baba is not ready for justice. Sometimes. I mean, I don't deceive myself. You don't go out, you don't sit behind the scene and be crying. When you can figure out things, money is not the issue. Lawyer is not the issue. Then why is the delay? Why is the delay? Are we stupid or what? I mean, I'm asking, are we stupid or what? I don't believe basically. I don't just believe easily. You don't. If you want to convince me with fact, where are we waiting? What are we waiting? They are telling us, let us wait for a corona inquest. They are going to bring Primeboy. They are going to bring Darusha. What is this nonsense? They are. Ask them what date. Since November last year, we were told that corona inquest is going to come March. But today nobody know date. At least if you are working with a government official, they're supposed to give you date now. All of us are still waiting on the air. Abishkan Wala be this one. That's what Section 165 Marriage Act says. Section 165, 2011. That's what it says, the law. It presumes that any child born into a marriage belongs to that marriage. And that is the power that Wunmi is using. That I gave birth to the child in that marriage. That is why, when she was pregnant, they know very well the condition. They understand how much that marriage means. And that's why they make the marriage very fast. People can read up on the screen. They make the marriage very, very fast. No introduction. In fact, they skip introduction. Just imagine. So something is fishing. Something is fishing. And this is what our intelligence is doing to us. Our intelligence is making us understand that this is just how things ought to be. When things don't go the way it's supposed to be, even if one process is missed, verify why one process is skipped. Something else, there have to be some hastiness. That hastiness, why? What on earth? I mean, eventually you guys will still marry. Why didn't you guys marry? Okay, why are you that? How many months pregnant was she before they got married? Why? You look at all those. I mean, just take a look at the marriage itself. It shows something is wrong, and eventually, then the guy died. Did they know that the guy is gonna die? So first, if we can try to fault something from them with the marriage, then we can know why the guy have to die, and that is why they are saying that DNA will not be done. Her mother insists. That is Wunmi's mother insists that DNA will not be done, and that is why I'm saying that Wunmi, right, has a secret of the Malians. And look at the issue, the areas where Wunmi and the Malians may happen to fall out here. Maybe after Mohbad pass, Wunmi may be seeking for some compensation, like maybe the royalties, everything wants to get from the Malians, and then the Malians refuse. Okay, and as a result of that, that's why the Wunmi's fans, they hate Malians. They and Malians are like cat and rat. That's why I see that anytime we mention Naira Marley, oh, they are very strong. Then we become friends. If you want to become friend of any Wunmi fan, just begin to bash Naira Marley. All of them. That is where their boss is. They are against Baba and they are against Naira Marley. Like they want to limit Baba Boju, Baba Boju, Naira Marley. Oh yeah, you said to us, make everybody. They have taken a very good stand. They fight in a strategic way. If they can take out those two things from their way, they are fine. So, and that is why it's so hard on them to get rid of Baba. And again, why is the government so slow on this case? It is because what happened to Mohbad, it is beyond just an accident. It is beyond just an accident. It looks like somebody committed the act, but that person don't want to go down for it because that person has the secrets of others at hand. That come, you guys have to cover me. If I go down, I'm gonna expose you guys in other areas. So if you don't want to be exposed in other areas, then everything must be sure that I must be covered. That's why I will tell you, right? Even if you bring any police officer that are investigating this crime, they know in their head that Wunmi has to be protected at all costs.
The reason why bloggers, social media analysts, and whoever decided to be part of this, coming up with suggestions, insinuations, and all of that is because the police refuse to do the needful. They believe that they have done what they need to do and that they do not need to continuously feed the public with any update. The police concluded that they have handed over the reports of the investigation that has to do with Ilerioluwa Promise Aloba to the state government, and that the state government will follow through after autopsy, which they said has been done but has not been officially presented, but that they are waiting on the toxicology. And the excuse they gave for the wait is that certain unlawful teenagers, citizens, old and young, whoever, in Lagos State, or maybe they came from wherever it is, they said that they destroyed state-of-the-art laboratory, forensic laboratory, where this would have been done without any need to transport specimen down to the US. Now, our guest suggested that the reason behind the delay so far is because someone is involved, maybe knowingly or unknowingly, maybe directly or indirectly, with the demise of Mohbad, and that person has dirty secrets or information, or that person is part of a particular cartel, and that person, if he or she is not well protected, he or she might expose, he or she might reveal. Now, the question I want to put forward is this: is it cheaper for them to do away with such person? Let us assume that Wunmi has information, and I don't think Wunmi can have as much as heavy information that will make the Nigerian police panic. Who is Wunmi? No, not in Nigeria. What kind of information can she have? Oh, she knows where certain things are being done. I think by now she will not be running around trying to take Mohbad's money. She will have enough. You cannot be close to certain information or certain group of people and you'll be broke. No. What is the purpose of you being connected to them? So, what I'm trying to say is that this is beyond Wunmi. This is beyond Wunmi. I'm kind of thinking it is connected to Wunmi, sort of, but not Wunmi as Wunmi is not the major player here. That Wunmi has to be protected by the police, maybe because of her mother's influence. She has done the transformer thing maybe with certain people and they wish to protect her. Like, okay, you know what? It's okay. It's all right. Or immediately that incident happened because the nurse is not speaking. And I advise the nurse to come out to talk now before it is too late. We don't want to hear that the nurse has disappeared. They will say the nurse escaped to Sambisa Forest. The nurse is in Benin Republic. The nurse is outside of Nigeria, whereas they have already put her where she will not return back again. Nurse, speak before it is too late. When you got to Mohbad's house, what did you see? What was your observation? In what state was Mohbad in? What was the injury of Mohbad like? What did you clean and treat before you administered those medication? What did Wunmi tell you when you got in? Who did you see in that house? Were you there all through before his demise, or you left and you came back to see that he is no more? Was he okay when you came in, like he was breathing and he could relate to you, he could communicate with you? And when you came back, it was in a total disaster, because that is what they said. They said, oh, he reacted badly to the medication. That's what Wunmi said. Then we also heard again that they said, oh, that's how he does. Let's pour water on him, he will be okay. Nurse, you have a part to play in this. I know you've dropped your statement at the police and they took your statement. They will decide on what they want to keep and what they want to throw away. And since you are the one they want to nail, that's why only your CCTV clip was released. That is why only your CCTV clip was released to establish that you came in to administer what you are not authorized to administer. Yeah. Nurse, I don't know your name. Is it Nurse Titi or Nurse whatever, auxiliary nurse? You know yourself. Don't be fooled. Don't think when you keep quiet, everything will go down. It's a lie. It's a lie. Everything will not go away. Nothing will go away. Do not allow them fool you into thinking, if I don't say nothing, if I keep quiet, everything will be fine. Nothing will be fine. Primeboy knows and is already fighting to make sure that it doesn't go down alone if this is going to be placed on him. You, nurse, you have a lot to say. You are the only one now that has not publicly, and Spending or Splendid, what's your name? You are hiding. I'm sorry for you. Let me tell you, just like what our guest said, Primeboy, Spending, nurse, the three of you, the police already established and they said they've concluded their investigation. You are the only three that wants to keep their mouth, particularly the two. Primeboy is saying, but he's not saying all. The three of you, I wish you can come out publicly, same day, same time, same minute, and begin to speak. Questions will be asked. If you want us to host you here on this platform, we will. There are intelligent people here on this platform that will ask you guys questions. Speak. Let us ask you strategic questions. We want to discover. We'll ask you questions. We already saw CCTV of you, nurse, coming in. Tell us what you observed, what you saw. What did Wunmi tell you? Describe that person that you went there to treat, so that we will not have this misconception. Some said, oh, the nurse said, the person I saw is a fair complected person, fair in complexion, not a brown, dark person like Mohbad. Then the nurse said, it was a setup. Wunmi set me up. At least you have your eyes and mouth and your medical experience to tell us the state that you met Mohbad in. Don't hide, don't remove. Tell us the state you met him in, what he was saying to you. Tell us how Wunmi behaved around you. What was her countenance like? Tell us what you observed. Tell us all that you saw. And with this, we will be able to have clarity. We will be able to paint a picture. We will be able to understand. And the CCTV that they claim is no longer available, we will be able to create an image of the events. In fact, we will be able to say, this is what you saw, this is how you acted, this is what you cannot hide, you cannot run away from the fact that you are not authorized to administer what you administer, even though it is all over Nigeria that such practices occur, where auxiliary nurses go to homes of even people that are comfortable enough to administer medication, because they do not want to go to the hospital. They don't want to sit down, face the hassle of being treated, self-medication. These things do happen. So nurse, it's time for you to speak. Spending, don't hide behind the scene. Speak. This is what you heard. This is what you suspected. At least we'll be able to divide what you said you heard, word for word, and what you think and suspected from the conversation. Nurse, you are more with Mohbad and Wunmi on that day. Tell us when you left and you came back, or they gave you a room there and you stayed in. Tell us everything. Tell us everything from the beginning till the end. If you rely on only the Nigerian police, well, I want to take you back to what the father of Mohbad said. When I went to the police station, I requested for a particular document to put the body of my son in the morgue, and a police officer came in later after all discussions have been settled and I have put out my statement, and I was thinking they were going to arrest Wunmi and the rest of the crew, the cartel and the rest of whoever, so that the investigation will proceed. He said a police officer came in just a few minutes before he would have been handed over the papers to take his son to the morgue, and said, don't give that man, don't give that man. Why didn't you guys come here to tell us before it happened? Don't give that man, don't give that man. What does that indicate? It shows that Wunmi must have called mommy. Mommy will say, don't worry, I will press buttons. Mommy press buttons. And for us to further establish this, mommy came on social media, corrupt mommy, diabolic mommy, and said, how dare anyone request DNA? Why should Mohbad's father want a DNA? So nurse, it's time for you to speak. Spending, come out and say all. If you hide, this hiding of yours is the same way you'll be hidden in the dungeon of the Nigerian Correctional Center. An advice for you: if you like, listen and adhere to our suggestion and advice. If you like, ignore. Believe that silence and your, trying to lay low will sort or solve this. It will not. You guys are not free. Primeboy, you are not free. Spelling, you are not free. Nurse, you are not free. You guys are not free. You think they've already settled it, want to bury it, they have settled it, everything is fine, it's okay. No. Maybe you've been told, don't worry, business as usual. Soon everyone will be quiet, something else will come up. They will start talking of something else. As you can see, this is a new era. It has never been this way before. Never ever been this way before. You see, back in those days, it used to be some, blog. I mean, the written one. And once they pay the blogger or threaten the blogger, end of story. Now, we have independent bloggers. You see, independent bloggers, people who have decided there is passion in what they do. You see, I've always said that this is not about Mohbad alone. No, it's not about Team Wunmi, Team this, a justice for a man, justice for a woman. No. It's about justice for humanity. It's about justice for humanity. I have said it several times, countless times, that if Wunmi is innocent, if Wunmi is really pained, if Wunmi is really mourning Mohbad, if Wunmi really wants transparency, if Wunmi wants to prove and show that transformer is not our own, no, has nothing to do with that. That it's someone else. That Mohbad was just freestyling. At this time, we will not be talking about DNA. We would have challenged Mohbad's father like, how dare you, rubbish man? How dare you? You're a dirty man. By the time I end this one, people will stone you. Let's go for a DNA test. I want 3. Already, Wunmi's elder sister knows via their mom, because they all know that all their life is to transform the untransformable. So she already said it that, you know that in Nigeria, or don't you know that all over the world, babies can be swapped? So Liam, she's saying that Liam was swapped at the hospital. That don't you know? And when they realized that this wasn't making sense, they now pushed in Mohbad's mother. After all, she has collected money, check here and there, 10 million from this pastor, 5 million from this charity, money in her account. So it's time for her to come out to do her own thing. She came out like a foolish woman. She said, Mohbad is not Mr. Joseph's son. So it means if DNA is carried out and it ends up not, that's it now. I'm very glad that Mohbad's father said, my son will not be buried, regardless if it's mine or not. It means that we can take a sample, we can take just a strand of hair on Mohbad's head. DNA is still active there. They can take a strand and also Mohbad's father's swab, so that we will have a robust, we will have more samples too. Wunmi, you don't want DNA because you are afraid. You are afraid. Does this child belong to Mohbad? Does it belong to someone else? You are afraid. You are afraid. It is even possible that you have gone to do the DNA thing with the father that you know, and it came out positive. So you know that you have to stand your ground. Like, no DNA, I must inherit Mohbad. No, you go and inherit your mother and your father and the father of Liam, not Mohbad. I don't know what you guys think of this one. Drop your comment, like, and share. See you guys in the next update. Justice for Mohbad.